Hey y'all, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I wanted to get on here and share some of my OCD wins that I have had for the first half of this year. And I want to share it for the same reason why I created the channel Break Free from OCD as a Bully. And it's because I am a natural born encourager. And I'm someone who hates to see people struggling and in pain and being tortured by thoughts or things they're going through in their life. I've been like that since I was a little girl, always wanting to help people and prevent people from being harmed or hurt, and want people to have joy and to just live a life of freedom, a life of joy, because we all deserve it. We all deserve it. So I just wanted to share some of the wins, the OCD wins I've had throughout this first half of the year. I've been on this journey of truly battling OCD for the past, since 2021, after I had a traumatic event that caused my brain to go in protection mode. Now, the truth and reality is I already had OCD, and it's something that my grandma had. Based on the stories I've learned about my great-grandma over the past 5 or so years, it seemed like she fit the bill as well, and my mom, she has it as well. Now, I didn't grow up with that understanding. They didn't have that understanding. I don't know how much of my grandma, I don't know how much she knew, but I have come to understand and learn that OCD run through that line of the family. So for me, what I learned in therapy is that you can have OCD, one iteration of it, one subtype of it, and then, as life go on, you have different life experiences. It could convert to another subtype. It's just what your brain does. It's how your brain processes in an effort to protect itself. Okay, so that's one thing I want to let my folks out there living with OCD know. It's not your identity. It's what your brain did to protect itself. No, it's not you. For those of us that have religious scrupulosity, that's the subtype that I have. It is not God. It is not the enemy. It is not you. It is OCD. It's what your brain did to protect itself after you experience some type of traumatic event, whether big T or small t. So all in all, OCD. It's not you, it's your identity. You can break free from it. It is not your life sentence, because when you're in it, it feels like that, and it feels like you're going to be like this forever, and you're not. And that causes people to give up hope and give up everything and want to no longer be here. So I want to encourage you and let you know, as somebody living with it, overcoming it, breaking free from it, it is not your life story. It's one small chapter in your story. And the more information you get, the more insight and understanding you get about your brain, about trauma, about what this mental condition is, understanding that is a chemical imbalance in your brain. It is not you. And most importantly, it is not your fault. You hear me? It is not your fault. You didn't do anything to deserve it. You don't deserve it. And you are worth knowing that information, because so many people go through life, like I said, not knowing. Okay, so with that being said, I want to share with you some wins that I've had, so that way you can see for yourself you can win. It might be small, it might be big, but just know every step in progress that you make, you are on your way to fully breaking free. And when I was deep in it, I could not imagine me right now, but I wanted me right now. I could imagine, I could see it, but I was so deep in it, it wasn't realized yet. That's a better way of saying it. And sometimes I was in such disarray, despair, I couldn't see me. It just depends on the day. It depends on the moment. And some days was easier than others. Some days was harder than others. Some moments was easier and harder than others. But I want you to know that I am on the other side of it 5 years later. And I watched many YouTube videos hoping and praying that one day I would be them, of other individuals living with OCD, and they broke free and got on the other side. And now I can say that I did too. right? Okay, so let me start dropping wins because I've been giving y'all the backstory. So one of the first OCD wins I experienced, it was at the top of this year. It was like either end of last year or top of this year. I wrote in my journal. I jot down my OCD wins. I realized that I could go to sleep without listening to anything. I could go to sleep without listening to any music, without anything playing in the background on TV. I could go to sleep without it. Why that is important? Because when I was going through this journey with OCD, I was very terrified because of what I went through. Very traumatic experience. It happened at night, it happened in the dark. So I started sleeping with my back against the wall, was afraid of dark, was afraid of nighttime, was afraid of my thoughts, because if you know OCD, your thoughts get very loud. And with PTSD compounding that, it makes it even louder, it makes it even worse. I had a hard time going to sleep without listening to anything, without having the TV on. I was afraid of my thoughts because it got loud at night. I now understand the science behind why it got loud. But at that time, it felt like, oh my goodness, the enemy is attacking me. It did not feel like OCD. It felt like I was going through a spiritual warfare in my brain. And my brain was under attack. So I was terrified of nighttime. I was terrified of it literally felt like, remember the old school cartoon where angel and devil is on both ends of your shoulder and they're battling? And that's what it felt like in my brain. And the directives I would get to do this or else, do this or else. And so that was terrifying. So I was afraid of nighttime. I was afraid of my bedroom. I was afraid of so much stuff, y'all. But nighttime was the worst. It was always the worst. So that was one of the first inklings of me realizing, oh look, I can sleep. It was just like a knowing, like a encouraging knowing. Don't turn on the TV. Don't turn on the TV tonight. Don't turn on YouTube tonight, because me and YouTube been like this. We've been ace boon coon over the past 5 years since all this stuff went down. 2021, ace boon coon. Okay. For the last 5 years, me and YouTube. And so all of you YouTubers out there that created channels with music and help people go to sleep with insomnia, had insomnia, all of that jazz. And really it's the trauma that comes up in your brain, and is what your brain does, what you pick up, all the things to feel safe, to feel okay. So my YouTubers out there that created those channels, thank you, because it did help me get through. But it wasn't enough to get through. God wanted me to break free. Y'all feeling me? Y'all following me? He wanted me to break free because he doesn't want anybody to be in bondage. And so me being able to sleep without any music, and not being afraid of my thoughts. Now, I still had uncertainty. I still had some discomfort, right? Because that having the music in the background, having the TV show on in the background was my pacifier. It's my pacifier. Is what cradled me. It was my safety blanket, if you will. It's the things babies do to comfort themselves, to self-soothe themselves so they can feel safe, because they don't have the tools yet to process their emotions and what's happening on the inside of them. So mine was, this is one of them, as far as OCD, it was the TV. It was technology. Anything that could play music, that could distract me from what I was dealing with internally, mentally, is what I leaned to help me go to sleep. In addition, I took a whole bunch of different melatonin and sleeping stuff to help me go to sleep. I have more natural stuff now because outside of OCD and PTSD, I also have ADHD and been going through perimenopause. So a lot was happening with my brain at the same time, but I had to address the most important thing, which was the trauma that heightened the OCD. Y'all follow me? It's a lot of acronyms I'm throwing out there, but it's a reason for all of it, because you got to understand the complexity of your brain and what it does in response to what you go through. So then as you understand, again, the science behind it, understand what's happening on the inside of you, you could understand that you have power to shift. You have power to break free, and it does not have to control you.